Yo, what's going on, Swaz Nation? SuozziVille here, and welcome to another storytime video. Because In the Heights will be coming out in theaters and on HBO Max this week, I wanted to tell you guys about the time I almost met Lin Manuel Miranda. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'll be talking about a lot of stuff that happens in this vlog right here. I'll have it linked in the description if you want to go check that out, as well as a bunch of stuff that happened off camera. Okay, so it was mid-July 2019. I had driver's ed that morning, so I got up early, went to my high school, and saw about a dozen or so trailers and trucks just sitting in the parking lot. More importantly, I saw they were from a film company. But there wasn't anyone out there, so I went to my driver's ed class, and afterwards, I cut through the back of the high school to try and catch a glimpse of what was going on exactly. I walked past my school's cafeteria and saw 3 or 4 racks completely filled with costumes, and there was 2 or 3 people in that room just going through them. After that, I stopped to use the bathroom, which was right across the hall since I was there anyway, and there was another guy in there who I didn't recognize. He didn't really say anything to me. I guess he thought I was part of the crew or an extra or something. I really don't know. Anyway, once I was done in there, I left through the back doors by the gym and saw there were a couple more people out by the trailers now. I was also able to catch a couple of names written on each of the trailers, but I didn't know whether they were the names of the actors and actresses or the names of the characters they were playing. Luckily, we happen to have a family friend who works in our local government. I asked her what was going on, and she said they were just shooting a commercial over at the beach. Hold up. A commercial? I saw in the cafeteria they had at least 3 or 4 racks completely filled with costumes. That seems like a lot for a commercial, I told her. And she said, really? And I was like, yeah. So I called up my mom, explained the situation, and we drove back to my high school. We happened to catch one of the guys working there and asked what they were shooting. And he said, In the Heights. And we were just like, what? We chatted with this guy for another minute or so, and eventually we learned that Lin Manuel Miranda was actually here in our town, but he had already left for the airport a couple hours earlier. But of course, we decided to drive down to the beach and check everything out anyway. When we got to the beach, I saw these giant blue screens, more trucks and trailers, palm trees, and an entire hut, specifically the beach hut from the trailer in these shots right here, just set up along a gated off part of the beach. There was about 2 dozen or so people in the crew just walking around, talking to each other, handing other things off to each other, and I just walked right in. No one said anything because no one was guarding the entrance to the set. I just walked right in. No one said anything. So there I am, my first time on a legitimate film set, just walking around with my camera and my bag, just hoping to interview a couple people for like a sneak peek of what was going on, because I thought it'd make a great video, which it did. And then I noticed the beach hut from the trailer as well as the fake palm trees, and it looked huge. But there was a giant blue screen blocking the side of the hut I was facing, so I couldn't tell if anyone was over there or not. So after stopping for a second to check out the sunset, I decided to walk over and try to get a closer look. I was a good couple yards away from the hut when all of a sudden, I hear him, Lin Manuel Miranda, speaking. I couldn't understand a thing he was saying, but I recognized his voice, and after he stopped talking, I heard a bunch of clapping. I wasn't sure if he was giving a pep talk or they were still shooting, because I didn't think they were still shooting, because the guy said they had just wrapped up for the day, and it was the last day of production. That was it. But it took a second for me to think it was him. I was like, wow, this guy sounds a lot like Lin Manuel Miranda. Wait a minute. So yeah, we were absolutely conned, clickbaited, swindled into thinking he'd already left, but no, he was right there, a good couple yards away from me. I couldn't see him, but I heard him. It was him. It was crazy. And there I was, a good couple yards away from the hut. I was just frozen there. I wasn't sure if I should keep walking forward or if I should turn back because they were still shooting a scene. But someone in the crew spotted me. They called me over. We talked for a bit, and they basically walked me back to the exit. And that was it. Or so I thought. I told my mom and my aunt, who came along for the ride, what happened. I waited 2 minutes and just walked right back in. No one said anything. I met a few other people in the crew, and they directed me over to someone who could potentially answer some questions of mine about the movie. I'm not quite sure who he was, and I'm kind of blanking on his name right now, but I think he might have been one of the people managing the entire crew, or at least a part of it. Maybe even an assistant director or producer, who knows. A couple of the questions I asked him included when the expected release date was for the movie, and he said early July 2020. Of course, this was all before COVID happened, and I also asked whether Lin Manuel Miranda would make a cameo in the movie or if he was just overseeing production. He also let me know that we could expect a trailer for the movie in Thanksgiving or early December of 2019, which obviously happened. The rest of my questions he couldn't necessarily answer, even though the answers to them were already out there on the internet. which was kind of weird. I still don't get why that was the case. But anyway, we chatted a little more and I went home. After that, I went onto Google to try and better understand some of the answers he gave me. And I found an article that was really helpful with that, which I actually read through on the vlog. Again, it'll be linked in the description. But get this, the logo for the website I was reading that article on was the same one on his hat. So I figured that guy must have been really important somehow. So yeah, that's the time I almost met Lin Manuel Miranda. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And also don't forget to check out In the Heights in theaters or on HBO Max this Thursday, June 10th, 2021. Peace out.